My name is GlslViewer, and I want to show you how I usually start working on shader materials with GlslViewer, and how I use the PBR default shader that it comes with it to basically jump directly to action. So I have this small folder. It has OBJ with material and texture applied to it. And in the same folder, I also put a cube map of a Uffizi gallery. So to load this in GlslViewer, it's very easy. I just basically put head obj. Obj will load the material, and the material will load the default the default PNG. So I come here, and I have to load it. But first of all, I want to load the Uffizi gallery cube map. So I press enter, poop, and there you go. So a couple of things here. As you can see, the model load the material and load the texture. If you are curious to see which textures have load for you, you type textures on, and it will show you the textures that are loaded. Then you can see that it's using the cube map to set up the global illumination, and also, and this is probably hard to tell without a floor, let's turn the floor on, is doing it has put a light there. Let's turn the bag on, and this will turn. Here is the light depth, the shadow map on. It will show us where the light is, and also, and this is a new. Where's the light? The light is somewhere there. And also, you can see here, this is a new addition. It will show you an histogram of the scene. Sorry, I spaced out. This, if I type here frag, it will show in the console the entire fragment shader, which is in this case it's a full PBR model, so it's a lot of lines, and you can specify like the lines that you're interested in seeing. This is useful, for example, for debugging specific. If you have a console error, or if you want to debug specific lines, or you can kind of split it out to files. For example, let's put here test frag, and you will see that here it is. Just pass it to a file. But that's not completely useful, because we basically want to like load a model and start like working on it directly. In this case, we have to like turn it off and reload the same shader with a different with the shader we want to work on. So here I want to show you a trick. If you put here, for example, two files that we know that doesn't exist, like head frag and head vert, GlslViewer will understand that because these two files doesn't exist, you probably want to put the default shader on them. So, and this will only happen if it doesn't find the files. So now I created, and now GlslShader just create these new two files for me. The .frag will contain the fragment shader, and the .vert contain the vertex shader. This is the default shader, so if you're like curious about how things work behind the scenes, this follows the same principles. that the shaders in the book of shaders and GLSL canvas, and well, you know, it's all interconnected. What I want to show you is kind of like where the core of this is, because all these lines are basically how to extract the textures, the property, the metallic property, the roughness property, do the global denomination based on the cube map, or there is not, if not a cube map, kind of like create a mathematical representation of the cube map. Also, it takes the this spherical harmonics. You know, it does the full trick. And so you can like jump into action and concentrate here where like the meat is. So let me uncomment these lines. So here I'm basically using screen coordinates to set the metallic and the roughness properties. So you can see these two sectors of the screen are metallic, and these two and the down ones are not metallic. But let's modify this to, for example, let's set the roughness to 0, and here in the step, let's use the text coordinates that this model has. The text coord, we want to use these, and so now the model has two. It's basically metallic or not metallic. And I'm using the text coordinates, so I can frag this and multiply it by 10, and now I make this swirly material, which is half metallic and half not metallic, in this like kind of like funny pattern. I think the base color, so we can RGB, you can make it look maybe like a popsicle or something. Let me see. Maybe not. You can use this. You can multiply it or not. PCT. A lot of people ask me what PCT means. In Argentina, it means percentage in Spanish. So I use it all the time as percentage. I'm used to that notation. So I think this didn't work exactly as I planned. Oh, because of the fract, of course. Let's fract this. Let's actually make all this. There you go. That's not exactly what I was going for. There you go. I don't know, it's kind of Christmassy. I don't know. Anyway, this is just a prototype, but I want to give you a glimpse of how I use GlslViewer every day. So if you're interested, please hit the like, and I really encourage you to go to GitHub and clone GlslViewer, compile it for your operating system, and try it out and tell me how you're using it. It runs in Windows, Mac, Linux. It runs great in the Raspberry Pi. So you don't need too much to try it. Just like a $5 computer, it will do it. So, so you really don't have an excuse to learn shaders. See you next time. Thank you.